Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Film and TV News. Of course, I'm Wendy Mean, and before we begin, I got a new headset and mic because there's a better quality than the last one. So, apologies for that. So, I think this is happening on my channel, but I happen to do for now. I'll be posting videos with new mic. So, apologies to everyone for staring, but still, I will excited what's going to come in my channel. And don't worry, I will talk about the social network sequel we're going to official green light. But film will begin next year, but that's a whole nother video. So today I got the good news, and as today is Sunday because the weekend new Saturday and Sunday didn't have a film and TV news had to do with casting choices and Greenland projects. But on one sources, I heard that the next point news that the casting choices were of the Joseph Kosinski's Miami Vice reboot movie for Universal was coming in 2 years. That going to be Glen Powell and Michael B. Jordan and James Sonny Kodak and Ricardo Rico Tubbs, respectively. So this is gonna be a history one, and I know that two different kind of actors, like a grandmother who's it's actually and Joseph Kosinski, a director of that movie, along with everyone and Talcum Madrick, and that's what Tron Legacy worked him in the last movie worked before, and Michael B. Jordan was fresh off of the Sinners movies, which got on an Oscar buzz. So this is going to be an interesting one, and this is going to be more like a different direction. Like is one of the experiment you did with Michael Mann's 2006 movie with Jamie Foxx and Colin Farrell, who had at the time he had a deep depression during the filming of the movie, and it's like I did a video about the Colin Farrell's fatigue. I'm talking about that topic, so link in the description. Anyway, here's for WarriorReal.com. Um, we all know that F1 director Joseph Kosinski is set to direct of a Miami Vice reboot, and that Universal was scheduled the film for the August 6, 2027, which is 2 years. Who will play Claudette and Tubbs? We might have the answer. Sources tell the next point news that talks underway to cast Grant Power and Michael B. Jordan as a current duo of James Sonny Quadek and Ricardo Rico Tubbs. You're not reading this wrong. The exact same actors who being pushing in social media fan casting are expected to get the parts. I know the fan casting on Twitter, like or X, whatever we call that. There's probably people who say, "Hey, we want the Robert Downey Jr. play the Doctor Doom." That's going to be a better choice. And like, it's actually happening. Maybe, uh, or maybe Henry Cavill will be a James Bond, or Idris Elba will be a Black James Bond, but for the James Bond reboot, but led by Denis Villeneuve. But unfortunately, it didn't happen. But I hope the official casting choice, but that's another video. Or yeah, I noticed even the casting choices. Like, I mean, Kate. I mean, I'm not sure that the Glenn Powell, who's become the well-known rising star. Like I said, he previously worked with the Consistency in Taka Metric, but I think he'll become the world-front superstar. Movies like Hitman, um, the not Hitman, yeah, that thing. As Hitman, especially another film called Twisters, who's appeared along with alongside the supporting act with Kay O'Brien. Although they did work again in the Edgar Wright's movie adaptation of The Running Man, the Stephen King's book, which pretty much came out the disappointing source of that two latest Stephen King movies, that The Life of Chuck and The Long Walk. Probably box office failures because of playing about the Stephen King, but I digress. But still, I think that, and I don't know this, I haven't mentioned that Graham Powell and Kay O'Brien are good friends. It's like trying to be a new Zendaya and Tom Holland, but it's not as good as ever. I know Kate O'Brien was become the well-established actress. I've probably seen in the Magnolia series, or and especially the recent films like again Twisters and um and then one movie with one A24 movie with Kristen Stewart. And hold on a second. Love Lies Bleeding, as well as the recent films, was came out at the year of the end, like Mission Impossible, The Final Dead Reckoning, we have a supporting act, and as well as the Christine biopic movie with Sydney Sweeney. Seriously, yeah, I know there's an infamous actress who probably plays by Trump for God's sake. Anyway, um, as well as the Queens of the Dead movie. It's going to be like the trying to be the poor man's Dawn of the Dead movie by Edgar Wright. So, and speaking of that, he also appeared as a love interest of female lead in the or supporting act in the Running Man, like I said. So yeah, 2025 belonged with Kate O'Brien. I'm not sure that he's become the bodybuilder actress. Like unlike Gina Carano, he had a charm. He had to do with like a muscular actress. Like even to compare with Gina Carano, yeah, I know he's a well, he was an infamous actress who fired for Disney and got in a lawsuit. Debacle about the fire from of the Matter Audio series against lawsuit settlement. So there's that. But still, I think that Katie O'Brien was not controversial, but it's not good. It's going to be a next Gina Carano, but without controversy. So I digress. But anyway, back to where I like and Graham Bauer. Yeah, I know the acting career, and especially I mentioned the TV series on Hulu and Disney Plus was Chad Powers. It's amazing. I recommend it. I haven't seen it, but I saw the Jimmy Kimmel Live interview since he came back on the air after a week absence by reasons I'm not allowed to say on YouTube. So, yeah, that's that. And Michael B. Jordan, on the hand, was probably much of the game came out of first to sex. He's gone a breakthrough role in the one of the Ryan Kruger's Rocky sort of a spin-off movie. Creed was amazing film, but I would recommend as well another film as well as Jordan in the Black Panther, and then the recent movie director effort with the third Creed movie was starring alongside a cancer person, um, my, Jonathan Powers, or yeah. Well, I mean Jonathan Majors, but yeah, as well they continue with making films, and eventually recent projects, including Sinners, were gone nominated for Oscars, as well another film, and then also another film. And then Michael B. Jordan continued directorial effort with the Thomas Crawford Affair from Amazon and GM. So I think the great resume between this and after they came out like that before Creed, after the failure of Fan Stick movie, because yeah, they completely ruined the studio forever and before bought by Disney for all places. Yeah, before God get woke go broke. I think that Michael B. Jordan's because probably black actors. Like I'm not sure this he's not like he's starting to be like a Denzel Washington, but you know where it was. But still, I think these two actors are probably gone resume, especially the casting choices. It could be right, or it might be, but anyway, Kosinski from Top Gun Maverick and F1, of course, and Tron Legacy too, is set to direct the film, while Dan Gilroy, brother of Tony Gilroy from Nightcrawler and Endor, scripted a new draft based on the earlier version by Eric Warner Singer, the same writer who worked with Kosinski in Top Gun Maverick. Production will begin early next year. According to Variety, the film will explore the glamour of the combatant of the mid-80s Miami and draw inspiration of the pilot and the first season of the original TV series. The show that basically defined the era from the neon fashion to fashion cinematic cool. This is the 80s. Like the fashion was like back in the 80s when more pop culture fashions like after like Michael Jackson become the popular for the Thriller hour was pretty much as pretty nobody remember that. I was born in 1998 and I didn't born in the 80s. But anyway, Miami was originally premiered on NBC in 1984, created by Anthony Yekokovic and produced by Michael Mann of Heat. The series was ran for 5 seasons, starring Don Johnson and Philip Michael Thompson. Thomas as Sonny and Rico, becoming the cultural touchstone of the 80s. This is why I know this is the year when the era of the fine 80s. So, man attended a cinematic interpretation of Miami Vice in 2006, starring Jamie Foxx and Colin Farrell. Again, he had because he had a deep depression at the time. So, the film grossed $165 million worldwide against the $135 million budget. Um, the film was at that scene as it flopped. Yet, despite the onset drama and the many bad reviews, and man, for public disown it, and the 2006 Miami Ice reprisal is already real. 9 years after it released, it found the cult following, and our critics poll tagging of the best films of the 2000s. The film finished with the 38th place. I don't think that it was a good film. Yeah, I think it's a because the critics an okay film, but even to become a cult classic, like, I mean, I'm not sure this movie is a flop. I mean, say what they are, Babylon. That movie is a pretty much gone to box office failure, but the movie become a cult classic. So this is I know like this is the same director who did Whiplash and Babylon. I mean La La Land, but this is a different kind of filmmakers. What is it? Okay, as I mentioned, Kosinski is coming off the $600 million success of F1 starring Brad Pitt, and he's also has the entitled UFO whistleblower thriller at works on Apple. Yeah, this is film was distributed theatrically by Warner Brothers Pictures. If the UFO whistleblower thriller movie was my release distributed for Warner Brothers, am I to predict that? Who knows? But his other notable credits, including Documentricals, Olympian, also starring Tom Cruise, Tron Legacy, and Owning the Blade, also starring Miles Teller. I guess. Okay, and this is gonna be an interesting one. I hope Miami Vice reboot movie was gonna be more different than the TV show, and especially the 2006 Michael Mann movie of that. But I want to mention that Joseph Kosinski was probably much to decide that I probably making like Joseph Kosinski's less sequels. Now, as we know, the Tron Alice movie was coming in a week because I have a little problem. You see, this movie is a essence by the Joseph Kosinski was too busy filming F1, so they were replaced by some Danish or Norwegian director. But I have a disappointment, but I haven't talked about in another video, so that's a null and void. But as well as the sequels of Tokyo, Maverick, and especially F1, without Kosinski, because he had to do because I probably even making sequels. Like, I don't know, David Fincher didn't want to make his sequels of that movies, and I think the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo I never got a proper sequel, but reasons to focus on original IPs like that. And heck, even Once Upon a Time Hollywood sequel or spin-off movie was written by Quentin Tarantino, by the way. Was pretty much going to be directed by Fincher, but it's based about the Brad Pitt's character. So I think yeah, I think he won't mind reteam since he had the fourth time working with Brad Pitt, working with was David Fincher. First they have Seven, second with Fight Club, third was um the Courier Curse of Benjamin Button, and now Once Upon a Time Hollywood sequel semi or spin-off movie, The New Adventures of Creep Proof. But it's over on Netflix. But I might release in theaters by Sony Pictures, but about the rest. So I 100 was excited for that, and to me, and I remember know that the sequel, but I was told to Casey's too busy making projects. We're not doing the like sequels type way. I mean, Trying Alice was going to be good or terrible, or if this movie flopped, I'd say yeah, I blame Kosinski when might return to the proper Tron movie, but I don't know what you know say, but you know what I say. But we will see what happens, and might be casting choices go right, or it actually confirmed, or it might be turning down. Who knows? But we will see what happens. But I haven't seen Miami Vice series, but I have seen one episode on The Simpsons when they're representing Miami Vice, as well as Fall Guy, the starring Ryan Gosling and directed by David Leitch, which had included needed drop of the Miami Vice theme song. So there's that. So I can't really say, so I can't wait to be excited very soon in 2 years, and I hope the character choices will be confirmed. So let me know what you think, and hope you enjoy this video. I'm gonna talk about, and like I said in the intro, I'll talk about the social network sequel confirmed news. So we'll wait see on tomorrow's video. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Don't forget like this video, share your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to and ring the notification bell, and will up and stay and notify the update on new videos sometimes every day. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video, and remember, keep watching on One Anime.